Yes! Oh, great and mighty Grand Champion! Is there something you need? Can I carry your weapon? Shine your boots? Back rub, perhaps?
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking over both the playable characters and NPCs in gaming who offered nothing, and more often than not, brought down the experience.
Not my coolest moment, okay? I was confused. I thought I was doing the best thing for the galaxy.
Hey, you were doing the best thing for you.
Nobody asked you, Solitary Bill.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Zote, Hollow Knight. Despite getting on in years and having no combat experience to speak of, this grumpy bug still thinks he's the main character, always leaping into the dangerous dens of Hallownest, and always getting caught in a deathly scenario. Whether you save him or not is up to you, but rest assured, Zote will perish without your continued intervention. Just don't expect any word of thanks along the way. The only time he does pose a challenge is as the Grey Prince in a boss fight. But even then, that's a fangirl's dream version of Zote made manifest, one that is quickly dashed upon repeated encounters. Ben, the Walking Dead. A zombie apocalypse brings all kinds of people together. Not all of them good and most ill-equipped to handle the ravenous hordes of the undead. And then you've got Ben. The guy is well-meaning, but holy Clementine, everything he does just seems to escalate every situation. Accidentally letting in more zombies, leading raiders to the camp, on and on it went. To the point where the game even gives you the option to drop him to his death. Sticky, Fallout 3.
And was our so-called hero scared? You bet he was. He cried like a little baby. Wah, wah, wah.
Try not to be too shocked, but there are a lot of Escort mission participants on this list. Hailing from Little Lamplight, Sticky is kicked out of his commune as per their law when he comes of age, and has to mosey on down to Big Town to find shelter. Guess who's stuck escorting him? Maybe it wouldn't be so bad if Sticky didn't happily walk into gunfire or across our carefully laid out mines during every combat encounter, but he does. The worst part has to be how he just refuses to shut up, to the extent there's even a speech check that tells him to zip it.
There it is. We're almost there. Come on. Yippee!
Slippy Toad, Star Fox series.
It's too hot! I can't take it anymore!
We can appreciate the loyalty and the willingness to fly into the fray of intergalactic battles, but we still think it's high time Slippy found a new career. Between his poor piloting skills and consistently needing to be rescued by Fox, this amphibian becomes more of a detriment than an asset during cosmic firefights. After the umpteenth time of having to barrel roll to the rescue and save Slippy's slippery hide, even the most patient of R-Wing aces will be calling for his pilot license to be revoked.
I'm monkey food if I don't leave.
Baby Mario, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. From the outset, hating on an infant isn't the best look, we get it. But there's still no denying the frustration we felt every time Baby Mario was knocked off Yoshi's back, leading to a desperate scramble to recover him before he got kidnapped by the Koopa, leaving us to wallow in a game over. As far as platformers and collectathons go, Yoshi's Island is a classic, but that doesn't make having to constantly play babysitter any less of a chore when we're hunting for red coins. Robin, Batman Arkham City.
Pull him off.
I can take her.
Stand down.
As we all know, the Dark Knight is put through the ringer during his time locked away in this city-sized prison, having to not only deal with criminals and supervillains around every corner, but also his own rapidly deteriorating health, courtesy of Joker's venom. Sure would be nice if he had some kind of sidekick who could help him out, Right? We can't put the blame entirely on Robin here, since Batman insists on doing everything solo. But given the size of the Bat family and their resources, there would still likely be space for the Boy Wonder to help out. He finds out then and there his mentor's blood has been poisoned, leaps away, and doesn't show up for the rest of the game. We know that Batman always gets the final say, but come on Tim, help the poor guy out.
You know where I am. I know. Now go.
The Adoring Fan. The Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion.
By Azura, by Azura, by Azura! It's the Grand Champion! I can't believe it's you standing here next to me.
The Elder Scrolls companions aren't what you would call the most competent, but at the very least they make for good fodder who can slice up the occasional Daedra while you complete the quest. And then you've got the Adoring Fan. After you become champion of the arena, this devotee to your awesomeness will appear as an optional ally. Yes, he's incredibly creepy with no concept of boundaries. But what's even worse is that he's helpless in battle. No swords, no spells, he'll just flail his arms at the nearest threat. Hence why so many have taken the liberty to end the fan in a variety of creative ways over the years. See what hero worship gets you? Captain Quark, Ratchet & Clank series.
Greetings, new fish. I'm...
Captain Quark. I don't believe it. You're here. I used to dream of being arrested by you.
Now get out of here.
Don't get us wrong, Ratchet & Clank wouldn't be anywhere near as entertaining if not for the bumbling antics of Copernicus Leslie Quark. His uselessness is his greatest strength. He's been an antagonist, a nuisance, and an ally across the franchise. Posing as the definitive intergalactic superhero, who can easily be bought out by corporations, his bluster and bravado have often hindered more than helped when it came to aiding our favourite Lombax and robot duo. But he never failed to get a laugh out of us, so good on you, Quark.
Do you have a problem with unwanted hair? Is painful itching in your nether regions causing you undue embarrassment? Do you just plain stink?
Paimon, Genshin Impact.
Weasel thief, hereby bequeath all my mora. 200 goes to my pa.
Aw, what an adorable anime fairy thing. We're sure something so fluffy and sweet will prove itself to be endlessly helpful and in no way become the bane of our existence. Right? Alas, the only thing worse than Genshin's predatory gacha practices is Paimon. If only for the fact that she is so annoying. A quirky quip here, a useless piece of trivia there, a needless comment on top of that, Paimon has done nothing to help her negative image over the years, while other sidekicks in other gacha games have vastly overshadowed her.
No, for the last time, Paimon is not emergency food!
Algernon Bully.
So, you're the new kid, huh? Everyone is talking about you.
Oh, are they? And what are they saying?
Nothing.
It's not easy rising up through a school's hierarchy, especially when the students and faculty border on the psychotic. One of the quote-unquote allies that Jimmy meets during the Wild West that is Bulworth Academy is Algernon, the embodiment of exaggerated geekdom. Over the course of the game, if he's not sending you on fetch quests and escort missions, he's getting into trouble and needing to be bailed out, offering you nothing in return. And he still has the nerve to turn against Jimmy during the game's ending stages. Should have left him to the jocks.
We're a bit above helping people like you. I mean, get real, duh! Pea stain! Now you need my help.
Mell, the Lord of the Rings, Gollum.
Another one? Very well. This one's easy. You look like me, I can't deny. If you don't look, neither do I.
To be fair to this visually impaired elf, every character in this abysmal game is useless in one way or another. We can't list this version of Gollum, sadly, but we can certainly roast the next worst thing. As a guide, as a weird pseudo-love interest, and as a character, Mell is just a failure of an elf. Someone who seeks Gollum's help to act as her eyes to escape her prison. Too bad she lacks the wisdom to notice that the spindly creature is a broken, obsessive liar. All of Tolkien's world got wasted in this adaptation, but this elf especially showcases how poor the writing is.
Smeagol?
the Citadel Council Mass Effect series.
We've read the Eden Prime reports, Ambassador. The testimony of one traumatized dock worker is hardly compelling proof.
I resent these accusations. Nihilus was a fellow Spectre and a friend.
Galactic bureaucracy at its finest. As the representatives of the Turians, Solarians, and Asari, the Councillors craft and control the highest level of politics in Citadel space. Too bad they aren't as well versed in common sense. Due to their prejudice against humanity, they failed to recognise Saren's betrayal in the first game. Then in the sequel, despite mounting evidence and Shepard's pleas to unify and prepare for the invasion of the Reapers, they disregard it as fantasy. The results? An unprepared galaxy, billions of casualties, and a whole lot of egg on their faces.
Good luck with your investigation, Shepard. We hope for a quick resolution and a quick end to your relationship with Cerberus.
Well, that went better than expected.
Fi, The Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword. Look, no matter how much they annoy us, we can't deny that Na'vi from Ocarina of Time is somewhat useful. Even if their constant cries of, "Hey, listen!" drives us towards a breakdown. Fi, on the other hand, is basically a non-character. The so-called embodiment of the Master Sword's sole purpose throughout Link's journey seems to be letting him know that his health is low, the environment is hazardous, and other needless bits of know-how. When you're playing second fiddle to Eslo in terms of characterization, you know you done goofed. Natalya GoldenEye 007. The multiplayer aspect of this game remains unsurpassed, while its single-player campaign is also a ton of fun. Save for the part where you have to protect this particular Bond girl. Then the whole thing becomes double. Oh god, will you please stop walking into gunfire, Natalya? Players who attempt to escort her through the control and bunker levels will find themselves stunned by her general lack of self-preservation, often stepping out in front of your scope and subsequently getting peppered by bullets. GoldenEye had so much going for it back in the day. Comprehensive AI without a death wish was not one of them. Princess Elise, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Looks like we've lost them.
I'll settle things here. Elise, you should go back to the castle.
Okay.
There are plenty of Sonic side characters we like to pretend don't exist, and right at the top is this human member of royalty. We want to emphasize the human part, given how the only contribution she made to the franchise was bringing Sonic the Hedgehog, back to life with a kiss. It is as weird and out of place as you'd expect, made all the worse by how the rest of her personality is essentially a void. Fans like to clown on Sonic Unleashed and Sonic and the Secret Rings a lot, but at least they didn't have him locking lips with a teenage princess.
Elise, smile.
Moneybags, Spyro the Dragon series.
Hi, Spyro. You must be tougher than you look to get here. All the same, you won't be able to get past the metal sharks up ahead. I suppose I could let you borrow my submarine, though. For a modest fee, of course.
Money grubbing is more like it, on account that this bear loves nothing more than to block off your progress unless you pay a hefty toll of gems. If you haven't been scouring the landscape, then you're going to come up short when Moneybags decides to act as a gatekeeper, denying you access not only to new areas in various levels, but also new abilities. We get our own back in the end, sure, but for 90s kids, this was their first time learning the horror of taxes.
Oh, fine. The head bash may help you out on some tasks that were impossible before. Remember, just jump, then triangle. Good luck.
Magikarp, Pokemon series. Let's be honest here, the only reason that anyone went out of their way to capture this fish is because they knew that it would eventually evolve into a Gyarados. No one in their right mind would ever go out of their way to train up a Magikarp otherwise. It starts off knowing the move Splash, which does 0 damage. Even if you put in the time and effort to teach it new techniques, the plethora of superior water Pokemon across all generations render Magikarp moot by comparison. Ashley Graham, Resident Evil 4.
You okay?
Leon, what's gonna happen to us?
Don't worry. We got into this mess. We can get out of it.
The poster girl for agonizing escort missions, Ashley Graham in the original RE4 was damn near insufferable. When she wasn't getting kidnapped by the infected zealots, she was wandering into traps and basically doing everything in her power to get herself killed. Pair that with a one-dimensional personality and endless shrieking for Leon, and it's no wonder she accumulated so much animosity. We're just glad the remake did a hell of a job in redefining her character and adding some much needed likability.
Leon!
Sonia, Ninja Gaiden 2. Presented as a capable CIA agent who's quick on the draw, after her introduction, in which she snipes down a couple of black spider ninja, any agency Sonia had gets flushed away almost instantly. The number of times she gets captured would make Princess Peach blush, going from a badass to a literal damsel in distress, who at one point gets trapped in a cage, complete with much more revealing garments. In a game where you have the likes of Rachel, who slaughters demons by the hundreds by her lonesome, it's hard not to look at Sonia as anything other than a piece of eye candy for Ryu to perpetually save from danger. Tofu Boy, Super Meat Boy. There might never be a more useless character in all of gaming, and that is by design. After getting into an altercation with the much maligned organisation PETA, who went out of their way to make their own rip-off titled Super Tofu Boy, the creators of the original decided to get their own back. Input a certain code into the character selection screen and you'll unlock Tofu Boy, a character who makes beating the game impossible due to how weak his jumps are. While certain glitches and tricks can be utilised to overcome a couple of the levels, you cannot ace the game as this character. Now that's how you hold a grudge.
Push the buttons!
Which video game character do you think offers nothing of substance? Let us know in the comments.